Hey, Lauren, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Where are you calling from?
Good. My desktop doesn't want to work right now, so you're on my cell phone instead. So
Nice.
good to meet you. Hey,
Good.
I'm
Yeah, good.
I'm kind of a new fan of Superstore, so but it's really good, and it's also really great to see women who are funny and female comedians. All the same. I was just kind of curious, maybe this is a little bit off, but I was wondering, like, as a female comedian these days in like the Me Too and Time's Up movement, is it harder is like your job harder or is it easier just because of everyone talking, so openly and freely about things now for the first time? How does that affect being a comedian?
I think that's a great question. I think, truthfully, it's always been hard in some ways. The disparity between men and women, especially like in the comedy world. I'm not a stand up, but I know the stand up world. It's pretty difficult, and even coming up in the improv and sketch comedy world that I came up through, it's a lot of like you gotta play like a boy is what we always used to say. Like the girls would be like, you got to play with your. We used to say you got to play with your dick out is what we used to say because it was like
exactly.
it's very easy to be pushed aside or pushed around or manipulated or endowed into being the supporting or the wife or the mother as opposed to like playing something interesting. So I think that I wouldn't say that the movement has made things more difficult. It's certainly not in my job right now. But what I will say is that I think that it's actually really positive, and I think that it's kind of giving a voice to people in every arena. I think that women are being listened to for probably the first time ever. And I think that automatically, there's times in life and in at work and everything like that, that I will find that men will kind of catch themselves a little bit. Not that they're saying anything that's terrible, but they'll have like a moment of like, oh, wait, is that bad? And I think that that's great. I think that it's great that it's like, it's on your mind that you want to make sure you're not being offensive or overbearing or, those kinds of things. So I think at the end of the day, it's only going to be positive for everybody, but certainly with art and comedy and just being able to like have a voice and be taken seriously and not be shoved aside, I think is really great.
So when you guys are writing scripts, like for your show, like, is there higher sensitivities now, and it's good to, I heard you say you are writing like scripts and stuff for the show now, which is cool. And, but it's good because people are a little more sensitive, right, to what they're saying.
Absolutely. And I think that it's, I think what's great about our writer's room, and I was only in there for one episode last season, but we have a lot of amazing women in that room. We have a lot of just the funniest writers, men or women, happen to be women. In our case, in my opinion. So I think what's great is that we have people kind of at every level of we have producers who are women, we have writers who are women. There was one week on the show that everybody in a creative position was a woman. So that we had a female director, there was a female producer on set, female script supervisor, and we got a picture of all of us together. Because let me tell you something, it was one of my favorite weeks at work.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that men are being overtly, misogynistic or whatever, but there's something that's just really nice because it hasn't existed. That's the first time in my career, and I've worked in film and TV for 15 years. That's the first time I can ever name that many women were working together on the same thing. And so it was really kind of cool and nice, and a reminder that it was like, guess what? The house didn't burn down. We did a great job, so we're okay. Right. We can do it without you. You
probably got finished on time too, right?
Yeah, on time, absolutely, absolutely, and everybody was fed.
Yeah,
that's the most important part, I find.
And hopefully, wine is the end of the night too. But
listen, I've got my glass of prosecco beside me right now, so
great. Well, awesome. Keep up the good work, and I really like your show. So thanks, David, for listening me.
Sally, thanks for calling in. I appreciate
Sally.
it.
Okay.
Good question.